You know the vibes. www.daymcomic.com, DAYMCOMIC.com. Click the link below. Order your comic books right now. They're dropping in a few months. Don't be without one.
What's going on, everyone? Antonio here. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up for me. Let's get into it. All right, so we had the 2021 Emmy Awards Sunday night. And after the awards, there were a couple of articles that popped up. Hollywood Reporter, Variety, Deadline, it was everywhere. Apparently, hashtag Emmy So White was trending. And why was it trending? Because when you looked at all the major acting categories, everybody that won was not a minority, was not a POC, a person of color, and I also saw a couple of different articles pointing out the fact that Michael K. Williams unfortunately did not win the Best Supporting Actor Emmy for his work on Lovecraft Country. I would have loved to see Michael K. Williams win. I saw his nephew did some interviews with a couple of different media outlets. He went to the award in his uncle's place and was, had a speech prepared, and, he was hoping he was going to be able to get up on the stage and accept that Emmy for his late uncle, who we unfortunately lost a few weeks ago. And anybody that knows me knows how much The Wire is one of my favorite shows of all time. It's always been, one of my, top 4, top 5 over the last, say 20 years or so, since the show first debuted. And like I said, it's incredible, but here's what I would, to the people, and like I said, it would have been nice if Michael K. Williams had won, but are we giving him an Emmy because his work was better than the other actors in the category? Or are we giving him the Emmy because he unfortunately had that drug overdose and passed away? There are still people that think that when Heath Ledger won his Oscar for the Joker, and they're probably right, because a lot of times superhero movies don't get recognized, but Heath Ledger's performance as the Joker, which I thought was incredible, a lot of people felt that him passing away pushed him over the top as far as competition with the other actors in the category. And that might be true, because he may not have won if he had been alive. So that's why I'm saying that we get into that kind of thing where they're wanting him to be recognized for and I mean, his body of work is incredible. I mean, like Michael K. Williams, Boardwalk Empire, he was in another show called Hap and Leonard that I really enjoyed. And it would have been incredible if he had won. I'd been very happy. But it's the whole thing. It seems like we're going, every time we take like 2 or 3 steps forward as far as racial issues, we end up taking like 10 steps back. And, the Oscars, when they did the Oscars So White a couple years ago, they overcompensated, I felt. And then you ended up getting all these, here's the things they did with so I'm kind of waiting to see what the Emmys might do to counter this narrative of them kind of being a couple steps behind and not being inclusive and whatnot. Because the Oscars, what the Oscars did when everybody was like, oh, you guys, your voting panels are very white and there's not a lot of minorities on it and whatnot. Here's some of the things that I know the Oscars did to kind of compensate that. They added like another 500 voting members. They made sure when they screened those voting members that most of the people that got accepted were minorities. So they went out of, that they expanded the categories so that they could add a couple of more slots. That way they could add, originally it was only like 5. Remember, there's been a couple of these last few Oscar broadcasts where they had like 10 pictures in the Best Picture category and all that. You know what I'm saying? It used to just be 5. There'd be only 5, and then it's like, oh well, let's put 7 in there. Let's put 10. That kind of thing. So more pictures would mean more different nominations, that kind of thing. So I'm curious to see how the Emmys will counter this narrative, because here the reality is, I think it's BS. I saw the pictures of everybody that won, and yes, they were all white. It is what it is. But as I'm getting closer to being 50 years of age and having watched film and television since I was a small child, I do get tired of everything being about race. And let me explain that. So, like, as far as with the Oscars, I can remember for a while there, I used to know every black person that won an Oscar for acting, whether they, male or female, at least in the acting categories. I'm not, there were a couple of black, musicians like Isaac Hayes won an Oscar for Shaft for, I guess, musical score or whatever, and then, or best original song. And Prince won an Oscar for Purple Rain. So I know that, but beyond that, there were only a handful of black actors, especially going into the 90s and early 2000s. There were only a handful of black actors that had, gotten an actual, there were a few that got nominated, but there were only a few blacks that had won. Obviously, the very first black person to win an Oscar was Hattie McDaniel. And then we had to go to 1964, and then Sidney Poitier won best actor in a film. That did not happen again till I think it was about 1983. And then you had Louis Gossett Jr. won best supporting actor for An Officer and a Gentleman. And then didn't happen again till about 87, 88 or so. Denzel Washington won his first best supporting actor Oscar for Glory, which is fantastic. And then a few years later, Whoopi Goldberg won for Ghost. She won a best supporting. We didn't get another black actor to win until, what was it? I know Denzel won a second one for Training Day. And in that same year, Halle Berry won for Monsters Ball. And then just 2 or 3 years later, Jamie Foxx won for Ray. And now you've had like Daniel Kaluuya and all these. So, I mean, it's getting better. And film and television is kind of, there's just, I don't know. Because, some people will say, make your own award. They already have like the BET Awards and the NAACP Awards. I go back to, here's my thing, like, to kind of put a stamp on this. Go back to, I think it was 1997. And there was a film named Eve's Bayou. And that film is streaming on HBO right now. Like, if you have HBO Max, pull your app up and put in Eve's Bayou and watch that film. Journey Smollett's in it. Samuel Jackson was a producer on the film. He's in it. This is an incredible, Lynn Whitfield and Debbie Morgan. There was so many talented black actors in that film. And a lot of people thought it ended up making a lot of 10 best lists of that year. And when the Oscars came, it didn't get recognized. That's when I would say there's a problem. If you look at a film like Eve's Bayou and it didn't get nominated, so that's when I would say, okay, that film was special and unique and should have been recognized. In fact, 2018, Eve's Bayou actually got added to the National Film Archive. And there was an article in Time magazine. It was talking about Eve's Bayou, and it was cited as one of the most important films on race in like the last 50 years or whatever. So it's like race in the Black American experience. Eve's Bayou is a powerful movie, and it didn't get nominated to Oscars. So when you flash forward a few years and we're in the 2000s or whatever, and then everybody's go, Oscar So White, I understood, because like a film like Eve's Bayou should have gotten recognized, it should have gotten awards. And television's the same way. When I mentioned Michael K. Williams, a lot of people forget, they like, oh man, The Wire is like one of the best shows. When The Wire was on, a lot of people that are Wire fans now didn't actually watch The Wire. I watched it when it was on originally. But a lot of people have found The Wire now, and I always see these, which show's the best show? The Sopranos, Breaking Bad, or The Wire? They have all these different comparisons. What's your favorite Sopranos episodes versus The Wire versus Breaking Bad? It's like, it gets named in like one of the best shows of our top 10 best shows of all time and all this kind of thing. Obviously it was on HBO. HBO is very proud to have had that show on its network. But when it was on, it didn't get on, and the actors talked about this. It's one of those shows where it went off the air and then everybody was talking about how brilliant it was. So, and it obviously had a predominantly black cast. It's strange to see that. And I thought about a lot of that when people were saying, man, Michael K. Williams should have won. But I ask again, is he winning because he was great on Lovecraft Country? I'm not taking that away from him. But is he winning the Emmy because he was the best? Or is he winning it because everybody's upset that he unfortunately passed away? This is a complicated issue. We obviously want everybody to feel included. But when I look at the Emmys or the Oscars and they're awarding these, or hell, the Tonys or any of these, if they say something's the best, then it's got to be the best, period. I think the winners were, I looked, Kate Winslet won, and I got a lot of my friends that was that Mayor of Easton or whatever that show is. I haven't watched it yet. I tried to get through an episode. I have to be in the right mood because it actually seems like a show you have to watch. There's a lot of TV shows that I'll have on in the background, and I don't have to watch every second of it to get what's going on, so I can like type in the background and do things and then kind of look up at the screen here and there and do that. Mayor sounds like, my friends that are raving about it, they love that show. And you actually have to watch it. So I have to find a moment where I can actually just drop what I'm doing and just binge it like that, because I've had way too many friends just tell me how exceptional that show is. So I don't think anybody's shocked that show won. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm just saying. This is a complicated issue. And we can't say, okay, because this black actor didn't win or this black actress didn't win, that the ones that did win, the non-black people that won weren't deserving of their acclaim and the accolades that came with that as well. I don't know. It's if anybody watched the Emmys, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Like I said, whenever you touch on race or this and that and all of this, like I said, this video is not designed to solve racism. It's just me running my mouth for a few minutes, giving my opinion on things. But Emmys was out. Did you watch it? Do you have a problem with the people that won? Get in the comments. Let me know what you guys think. I'm out. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. And please check out my podcast at anchor.fm/Ikari Press, or just type in Ikari Press on your favorite streaming platform today.